Come on, Mike, show us what you got.
That's a horrible thought, isn't it?
Okay, as you know, the proceeds from today goes towards the air ambulance. We have the pilot of the air ambulance here who's going to give us a bit of a story. We have the lady from the air ambulance. Somebody's going to give some money to the air ambulance. Graham is going to do it, apparently. Graham Construction, I got it there, I can see now. And where is Graham Construction? No, over there. Oh, there we are. Well done. Who's Graham? There is no such. Okay. Thank you very much. You come forward to that. Then we've got a few more guests to get on, and we'll be carriages at 22:30. That's what they say when it's posh, isn't it?
Not my words.
Okay, let's go. Auction.
It's the first item. It's a one-off hand-drawn picture of Harry Vatman and Terry Harriman on the 84 Monte Carlo, I think it is.
Let's have a look at it.
It's a
Signed by Harry and Terry.
It's a one-of-a-kind. It was drawn last year, and it was actually signed by all the rally legends that were at the 2016 running of WRGB when it was here in Chester City Centre. So you've got Harry Vatman, Louise Aitken-Walker, Mickey Biazion,
and a few others.
Harry Toivonen as well.
Harry Toivonen.
No reserve on it.
No reserve on it. Who wants that lovely picture? Come on in, people. Dig deep for the air ambulance. £50. I got a young man over there offering £50. Don't let him have it, somebody. Come on. Who wants it? Pick your nose, scratch your head, you'll be bidding. I'm just warning you. £50 pointing over there, 75. Where? I can't see, where are you? 75 over there. Oh, 75 over there then. 75 over there. We're going in 25s. 20, are you holding the camera or bidding, boss? 25. 25. Have you asked my mum if you can take pictures of me? 25. 25. Come on, people. Don't let him have it. Where's the guy who offered earlier on? Go on.
I'll give 80.
You give 85. we got, because it's a better figure. 85. And what's a fiver? I can't even get a pint in here for a fiver. 85. 85.
Here, go on, Howard.
£100. Nice one. Oh, £200. Oh, was that an F off? £200. That's it. £200 over there. £200. £200. £200. £200. Hey boys from Scotland, got £200 between you?
No chance.
No chance.
How much is that? How much are you going?
250. 250. 250 with the man with the big smiley face by the door. Hold on to him so he doesn't run. 250. What about the man sitting down? Don't let him have it. £300. Yabba dabba doo. £300. There's only 3 people in the room who understand how this auction works. £300. Don't let him have it. £300. Go on through. Go 310. 310. That's 2 points at the bar. 310 standing up. Nia, get out the way. 310 standing up. Go 325. There's a big conflict going on here. 325, sir? Go on. 325 is nothing. It's £15. 3 pints in the bucket of crisps. Gonna sell it for 310 then? You'll be sorry, you'll be gutted. No going back. 310 by the door. Are you nodding? 310 by the door. 320! I love this job. 320. 320 sitting down. It's on you, sir. No? Is that a definite no? I'm glad you say no, because I really wanted to sell it to him sitting down. But I didn't want him to have his £300. Sold for £320 to, what's your name, boss? John. Do we need his credit card details? Well done, John. Thank you very much. What we got next then?
Second item, kindly courtesy of Motorsport News and the MSN Circuit Championship, are 2 passes for entry to every venue during the 8 rounds of the championship, are there? I think there are 8 rounds. Jack Benyon can probably put me right on that. 8 rounds, is it? Yeah.
8
so
rounds
it's 2
of
passes.
the Motor News Circuit Championship. Entrance to all the venues. Where are they? Where's Jack? He's gone. Where are the rounds? Where does it get you into? Alder Park? Okay. Where's the guy who knew? Who knew all the answers there now? Somebody here? Somebody was saying, was it you?
Yeah.
And you get in for free with that camera, don't you? Well, you're not getting in free now, you've got to make a bid. Because you can take somebody with you. We've got your number. Okay. Who wants to go to the... Anyway, what about you, jocks?
Okay. I just want a Coke free.
Anybody? Come on. What are we going to do with this then? This is a bit of a stale one. Sorry, Jack. Oh,
50 quid.
50 pounds. 50 pounds. Don't let him have it. It's cheap. It's cheap at that. How many rallies? 8 rallies. 2 people, is it? 2 passes for 8 rounds. That's 16 different passes, effectively. 50 pounds. What's that work out per pass?
Not much. And we have to remember what it's for, don't we?
Oh, yes. For the air ambulance. Come on, people. How much you say? 50 pounds? 50 pounds. Come on. Come on, people. No? Who is doing this championship then? Is there anybody in here? Hands up those who are going to do this championship. Oh, where? At the back? Oh, there we are. There's one man over there, look. Got some tickets. Are we going to sell it for £50? We're going to sell it for £50? Tell you what, boss, give us 100. I'll give us 75. Go on. Oh no. I'm not doing that again. Oh, Leah, what's the matter now? Oh, Christ. How much? £100! I know where Leah's going this year. So, that's close, isn't it? Right.
Last one, let's
Last
fire through this. Kindly donated by Balham District Motor Club is an entry to either the PK Memorial Road Rally next year or the Gareth Hall Memorial stages held on Trouse Fynydd next year, one or the other.
Where's Dave Pavely? £100. It's with Dave at £100. Has he been doing it? Trying to win back his trophy with his car with no restrictor. Look at his face. That was sucking the birds out of the sky that day, I tell you. So a couple of crows went by, they went straight in. And the sheep. Now you Scottish boys know all about the sheep.
I fucking love them.
Hey! £100 Dave Pavely, anybody else? Oh, £500. Oh. Is that how I think it is? How much beer have you had? Because he will buy it for £500. Good old friend Howard Price. 150?
No, 50.
It's already 100, you clown. Is it the road rally and the town? Is it the... Oh. It's already £100 over here. So if you want it, you'll have to pay 150. It's a bargain. What are you saying?
125.
Deal. 125. Come on, Dave. Don't let him have it. 150! 150 up in the front here now. Do you want to go again, Howard? No? £150. Anybody else? Going to sell it then? Anybody? Dave Pavely, £150. I'm sure if he, hang on a minute, I'm sure if Howard Price paid £125 towards the air ambulance, M Hall would give him a free entry on the what's the Bala one? On the road rally. The
PK.
Yeah.
You can have a chat with them about that.
I just sold it.
It's just gone out live on Rally FM as well, hasn't it? So, just gone out live there. Possibly, I'll have a word with it.
Possibly. Just show us the colour of your money. I would later. You'll have a free entry on the PK for £125. And then that's £275 we raised off one prize. All won't mind, really. It's a good cause, it's a good cause. Right, is that it?
Yeah, that's the 3 options.
Oh, fantastic. Right, we're going to give some cheques away now.
Hang on, I think Bryn was going to say something.
Oh, sorry, Bryn.
Yeah, I was just going to say, how the raffle works is anybody who's bought a ticket on your way in, the tickets will get drawn while you're sitting down in the second half, and there'll be numbers allocated on the items, so you can have a look at those on your way out. There's still some tickets for sale if you go up. Moving on, some cheque presentations. We'll bring Mike Hughes up, who's one of the organisers of the forum. Mike can tell you a little bit more about Air Ambulance and bring the Air Ambulance team on stage. And I'll just tell you a little story about one of the cheques that's getting presented tonight, which I think is a marvellous story. I believe a chap went up to M Sports testing last week and was begging for a run in a car with Elvin Evans. And that's not something that normally happens on pre-Rally GB tests, as most of us know. And Elvin, knowing that the forum was on, said, I'll give you a run in the car if you make a donation to Air Ambulance. And they came up with a figure, and that figure was £400. The chap coming up tonight is going to be donating £400 because he had a run in the car with Elvin Evans, which is a brilliant thing to have done.
Fantastic.
Marvellous. I'll hand over to Mike. Mike can bring the Air Ambulance team on. I'll leave you to him.
Cheers, thank you. Can I invite John Erpert, please, from the Air Ambulance? He's one of the pilots.
Brilliant. Anybody else?
And Anna can come up as well. Anna, do you want to come up?
Come on, Anna. What about these two guys from, well, they're right in what about them as well? Where are you two guys? I know one's called Johnny Walker. And where's the, come on, boys, come here. Are you really a pilot? Like, are you playing? No, you're not quite suave, actually, and pilots are quite suave, aren't they?
I did come a bit overdressed.
No, fair play, I wouldn't say that, no. Watch that chair, doesn't fall off the edge, no. Last time I saw Anna, she was... And I haven't seen her for how many years?
It'll be...
Hold that thing by your mouth, you're talking to me, that's it. 8 years. How much have you raised for the Air Ambulance in 8 years? Oh, you're coming closer, look, I love it. Go on, guess if you don't know. Sounds good. How many millions?
It'll be... I've been working for the Air Ambulance for about 14 years.
And how much a year do you raise?
Well, as a charity, we started off raising £6 million a year.
Right.
And now we, last year we raised just under £10 million.
So let's round it off to 10 million a year, 14 years. That's 140 million.
That's not actually all my doing.
Never mind, claim the glory, girl. Listen now, John, how much does it cost to put the old Air Ambulance up in the sky? There's a man trying to play with you, yeah, from behind. No, it's all right. I'm not playing with you. My hands are here, Christ. If you want to worry about that camera. John, tell us, how much does it cost? They used to say it's about £2,000, £2.5 a trip.
I believe it's about £1,500 a day.
Always come down in price.
It's always been £1,500.
Always been £1,500. Yeah. I've been a liar then, obviously, telling people it's...
No, keep telling them.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to ask you this question, right? Why isn't the Air Ambulance funded by the government?
Oh, that's a bit cheeky.
Cheeky.
So, it partly is.
Right.
Because the EMERTS team, so the consultant-led service that we have on the aircraft, that's paid for by the Welsh Assembly. So if you were to, God forbid, have a car crash, get stuck in an ambulance, taken to hospital, the guy that you see in the hospital, we take that guy out of the hospital, put him in the aircraft and put him on the roadside. So all that treatment that you would wait for, you're now getting by the side of the road.
And that's effectively why it's a charitable trust and organised in that way.
Well, when we first started off as a charity, the Wales Air Ambulance was literally an ambulance that flew. And we that's how it was until about 2 years ago, just under 2 years ago. So that's when the Welsh Assembly came on board and started a new project where we have these consultant doctors now flying on the Air Ambulance in Wales and providing an A&E service. It's one of the best services in the UK, if not in Europe. It's a leading service.
So is the air ambulance paying the doctor, or are you just ferrying them?
No, yes. So we are the air ambulance, the charity side, that hasn't changed. All the money raised, for example, from tonight, goes towards providing 3 helicopters in Wales. The service, the maintenance, the fuel, the pilots. The doctors, the new addition, are paid for by the Welsh Assembly.
So explain to me now then, and I'm being devil's advocate here, but I know a lot of people have asked this question. You get to a car accident, right? There's an ambulance there. Perhaps there's 2. There's a fire brigade there, and there's the air ambulance in the field. And everybody's walking around. Why? Who decides when the air ambulance is needed, and how is it called out like? Because, you know, if I fell over out there and I fell off the ladder and landed on the floor, I'd probably bounce, wouldn't I? But if an old biddy saw me across the road, she might say, oh, he's fallen off the ladder, he needs the air ambulance. Would you come then? You know, who makes that decision? Because the next question I'm going to ask you, which is, again, devil's advocate, we need the golden hour, don't we? Yeah. So, you know, you're going to die in the golden hour if you don't get air ambulance.
Well,
so that's why
you've got golden hour and you've got the platinum 10 minutes as well, and that's what we're aiming for.
Right.
So, who makes the decision? 2 questions. I'll forget the second one.
Okay.
Who makes the decision? So, down in South Wales, we have a control desk, and they are monitoring what we call the stack. So, if you imagine every 999 call that comes in, it goes onto a computer system.
Yeah.
Every single 999 call is linked on that system. We can, in the base, my base in Carnarvon, we're looking at those jobs all day long, and we're looking for the ones that, if you imagine an ambulance will go on blues and twos,
yes.
That then kind of hits the criteria for the aircraft to go. But then we've got to say, well, there's actually that job and that job, which one is the priority?
So are you sitting there doing that? Are you looking at...
No, I just drive.
No, you just get told go?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
But the only decision I make is weather. And
weather?
You know, this
can you go?
Yeah, exactly that. So the guys will say, job's in Dolgellau, can we make it? I look across sort of down to... Yeah, we'll give it a go. And that's literally, there's no weather service in Wales.
How weather related are you then?
So I can fly down to 300 feet, which is less than a football pitch upright.
Are you automated? Can you go up and are you like an Augusta 109?
Yeah.
Roll off and automate?
Yeah, well, the aircraft that we've got now are better than the Augustas.
Right.
They're way better,
because they take off like an airplane, don't they?
Yeah, it's cheating.
Oh, right, okay.
Only good pilots hold it.
So what have you got now? An EC-135?
145.
Oh, see, I know my shit in helicopters. I know my shit.
Yeah, no, we're very well placed. We've got 4 aircraft now. We've got a 135 that's doing the paediatric service across Wales, so moving kids from north to south, south to north. And then the 3 aircraft doing the roadside bits.
And we talked earlier about Wales, you know, and the geography and the ups and downs of the roads. We haven't even got a proper road that goes from north to south, north to South Wales, have we? So the air ambulance is much more important here in Wales than, say, London, isn't it, or Cardiff? Because of the geography, like.
So let me put some numbers on it.
Go on.
The way the aircraft are around the country, you're never more than 20 minutes from a helicopter in Wales. So when we talk about the platinum 10 minutes, you know, we're covering the vast majority of the population. And the bases weren't chosen by accident, you know, they're very carefully chosen for their geographical position.
And who decides where he's going, though? You know, if he's got, like, you know, if it's really bad, they go to Stoke or they go to Liverpool, who decides that? Then
so that's either dock, if we've got a dock in the back, or the paramedics, because our paramedics are trained to a higher level.
How much fuel, how far can you go then? Have you always got full fuel on board? Because obviously you've got full fuel on board, you can't go flat out, can you?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah?
This new aircraft will do everything. It's easy for me now.
This is.
So we can go Birmingham Children's Hospital, we can make London if we need to.
Right.
We can make Birmingham Queen Elizabeth, so if it's a really bad burns case, we'll go straight to Birmingham. We're good for anywhere within our patch, and our patch is Liverpool to Aberystwyth and a straight line through Bala.
Do you know when you go home at night, does your wife say, how many people's lives have you saved today, Dad?
My wife doesn't say Dad.
Nice one. He's sharper than me this point. He knows that he's a helicopter pilot.
I was going to say it's just a job, but it really isn't. I did a few years...
You must get involved. You must.
Yeah, we do.
It's so difficult not to, I bet.
I did a few years in the army before coming to this job, and I thought... I'd done some fairly funky things in the army, and I thought I'd seen it all. The reward that you get from this job is second to none. You know, the drivers that you've had on this stage tonight, that, you know, they have got a dream job. I have to say I've got a better one.
Do you have road rage on the road when you see people being twats on the road?
Yes. Yes.
It must be very frustrating.
Yeah, and on the circuit, I do a little bit of circuit racing.
Oh, roundy boy,
sorry.
yeah.
No, it is, you get a different perspective on life, quite literally sometimes.
Yeah.
We go to more equestrian accidents than we do motorcycle accidents. There's one for you.
Yeah.
Stay away from 2 tons and it's got no brain.
No.
We do a lot of road accidents, sadly, a lot of motorcycle
A lot
accidents.
of motorcycles, yeah.
We've actually competed against each other.
Have we?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Le Plot.
Huh?
Le Plot.
Le Plot?
Yeah.
Were you there? I did a moped enduro up in T. Christ last year. And you were
This
there.
man in motorcycle leathers.
Yeah, I tell you, that was terrifying, that was. That was terrifying. They were coming and leaning on top of me as I was going around the corners. That's great. Oh, wild. Hey, I think this guy's a hero. He's a hero. Never mind our rally drivers, this guy's a hero. And she's a hero for finding the money as well. So please, on your feet, stand ovation. Okay, right then. Where's the man from Graham Construction? Where's Graham? Have you got your check? Come on down. Now, Graham Construction stepped in to sponsor this event this year. Brynmore, tell us a little bit more. Go on, Brynmore.
Yeah, great.
Come and sit here, Graham.
Is that on?
I know you're not Graham, it's not Graham.
Yeah, Graham Construction kindly joined us.
What's it say?
Is that on?
Can you hear me now? Yeah, you can hear me now. Yeah, Graham Construction kindly joined us probably early September time with a view to coming aboard and supporting the event. As you probably gathered, it's not the cheapest night to put on at this sort of level, and Graham came on board with this wonderful figure of £2,000, which is a guaranteed donation to Air Ambulance, which is a wonderful gesture. So I think that actually deserves a standing ovation as well, to be honest.
Take a picture. Just a quick word with the man from Graham. Come and have a quick chat. Come and have a quick hello. Thank you very much for sponsoring.
Right, Graham is called Nick.
Sorry, what is your name, Graham?
Nick.
Sorry.
Nick.
Graham Nick. Graham Nick. What's it mean? What's it all about, like? Why?
Sorry, why?
Yeah, why have you got involved? Yeah, is it heartfelt? Have you been involved in the air ambulance? Have you had a crash?
A lot of our clients and some of our chief executives.
Which is your chief executive?
This man here, Ron,
Which,
from Ireland.
Show us your hands, Rob.
Madam Rallying.
Show us your hands. Show us your hands. Show us your hands. No, show us your hands. Definite chief executive hands, no? He hasn't done any construction work, has he?
Madam Rallying.
Don't come here for easy ride.
We just like to do this instead of golf and football, you know, something different.
And are you going to get out on the rally this weekend?
Try and get down to Chumley, yeah.
You're going to get to Chumley. Fantastic. And are you supporting Brynmore in his efforts?
We did last year, and we have done this year.
Fantastic. Great. Well, thank you very much. Thank you all. Thank you, man, with nice hands. Chief Executive. Come all the way from Ireland, I understand?
That's right.
Great, fantastic. Thanks to see you here. Now, we've got another great story as well. Now, you two guys, Johnny Walker and his mate, went up to M-Sport. Let me tell the story now. You bid on a prize to have a spin in a rally car, and you blagged a prize through Matthew Wilson's wife. Yeah. And you've got a cheque in your pocket. Yeah. Give it to the lady from the air ambulance now, Hannah. And I get over there and collect this cheque from James and man with the camera.
Thank you very much.
Tell us briefly, guys, that tell us briefly what happened, how it all worked out, and what you thought of the ride.
Still speechless. It was 3 weeks ago, so no, berserk, absolutely berserk. You've got to, if you ever get a chance to get in a WRC car, you need to grab it with both arms and get inside there and see what it's all about. But it was Elfin that took us out, and hats off to him. Hope it goes well this weekend. And I'll let Johnny tell you about his experience as well.
Just say same.
Pretty much the same. A lot of F's and Jeffs with that as well. I don't know how I come to get the ride. Probably just a drunk out on eBay. figured out there was some rally car ride.
So I don't know, have you already paid on eBay for the
Yeah,
ride, and that's over and above?
Yeah, 400
Oh,
quid.
well done, boys. Well done.
I just saw the ride, it was from John Desmond, who does the
Oh,
commentary.
right. Yeah.
I didn't understand what it's about. I thought it was just a little rally car ride in something.
Yeah.
And I bidded on it, I think 400 quid, thinking I wouldn't get it. Got it. And then I kept pushing the date back a bit further and further, and I think luckily it just fell with the testing of Evans. And at the same time, Bates knew Matthew's wife. And I just told him, listen, if you're going to come with me, you need to pet your end, and I'll blag as much as I can my end. And he must have just thought, we need to get rid of these better. And luckily for us, we ended up getting the ride with Elfin. He told us, and obviously everyone watches Only Fools and Horses, and there's a scene off that where he's in the bar, Del Boy is with Trigger. And as soon as John, the chief tester, told me who it was with, it was the scene of that. You know, he just had to play it cool because we just did not know what was happening. You know, the nerves from watching Evans through the day, all day watching it, we just wound each other up. We were sick, weren't we? Physically feeling sick before we even got in it.
Brilliant.
And then, the ride was just phenomenal. Absolutely. I thought he was trying to kill me every single day. there was one little bit where there was a big straight, and then it goes round and right, and then there's a left-hander. And I'm thinking, my brain's just saying, right, we need to probably go down one or two and brake and go in. And he's going up and up and up, and he's going on, and he's flat in sixth. And then he just dabs the brake, still flat, and turns in. I just looked across at him thinking, that's it, we're done here. we should have those trees and everything. I thought, every bend, and I was just thinking, he's just trying to kill us.
You were very lucky people.
Unbelievably lucky. So we just thought, we just thought, they didn't want any more money for it, but we just thought, to honour what we'd given them. And we spoke to Elfin on the day about where the money should go, and he agreed that most of all the money had gone for this.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So, well, that's for us, the 800 quid's cheap. I think the first £400 went to saving some steeple on the church.
Well, that's put your name ambulance in the sky twice, isn't it? Today, tonight, now, what you said. Make sure you put all the fuel in now. Well, I'm going to leave the last word to Anna, just a few words to say thank you to these guys and how difficult your job is, and but how rewarding it is when this happens.
Thank you ever so much. I'd like to say thank you very much for the guys that bid on the auction prizes. Everybody that's worked so hard to put tonight together. We are so truly grateful. The service just wouldn't exist. It wouldn't be there without the continued support of people like yourselves. It's simple as that. And it does save lives. It's made a huge difference in Wales to people. It's made a difference to families. We've saved people from horrendous injuries. It's been a pleasure working with the charity, and it's a very, very great pleasure to be invited to lovely, lovely events like this tonight. So, diolch yn fawr. Thank you.
Lovely, thank you very much. Thank you. Diolch. That puts it all into perspective a bit, doesn't it? Huh?
Yeah, absolutely, and I think particularly with all of our involvement in motorsport, the fact that the air ambulance is there nowadays, regardless of pretty much which area of the country you're in, it's a fantastic resource and one we definitely need to support.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant. Great. Right, what are we doing now? Anybody got anything else to say now? Are you happy? No more checks to give away, no more nothing else? Moving on then.
He didn't tell us about his expectations for the rally.
Oh, I think we should have a chat with Brimmer about the rally. Come on, Brimmer.
We need to know what his expectations are, what his hopes and dreams are. How many seconds a mile is going to be within.
And then who are you looking? What times are you looking for, Brimmer? I mean, you will be having a look to see where Ogier is, like.
Well,
terrible, yeah. What's the matter with sheep?
Hopes, dreams, aspirations, all dashed when I was about 21 or something.
All right. Have you ever driven on a rally before?
Night rallies, yes.
Oh my God.
Targa rallies once. And the last time I drove on gravel was about 13 years ago with Mike Hughes. Oh. Do we want to tell the story, Mike, about what happened on that rally?
Oh, no!
Yeah, it was a short-lived outing on the Cambrian. So yeah, I've driven on gravel for years.
So are you going to go for it? Are you going to finish, or are you going to be really sort of sensible and have a sensible approach? Because difficult when the old flag goes down and the green light comes on, it's Yahoo, isn't it?
Yeah, it is to a degree. I mean, I have to admit, I'm just going to out to enjoy it. It was a great year co-driving last year.
What's with the Subaru? You've got to keep it in because it's like a front-wheel drive car. Get a bit of understeer on, you've got to clog it like.
It's actually more like an escort because it sort of stays from the rear in a weird way. But yeah, no, it's just, to be honest, it's just for fun after quite a busy year. Chance to take it over the start ramp in the city centre on Friday because we get to start the National Day there, which is a bit of a dream country. You can remember it when you were a kid looking at all the stars going over the ramps in the 80s and 90s. So that's going to be good. But no, just to enjoy it. I had a great year co-driving last year and try something different this year with a view to next year.
Fantastic. Well, look for 257. No, even better, wait for 257. And remember, it's Bryn Mawr. Oh, Bryn Mawr. Right, we'll move on. We'll get our last two guests up now, I think. Where are we with time? We've got about half an hour to kill. So I'd like to invite onto the stage my old mate, Gwyndaf Evans, and Jeff Jones.
And as a special guest, seeing as though he's had a little word from the back, we'll bring up from Motorsport News, Jack Benyon. Jack, we have to read what you say, so we might as well listen to what you say now and again.
Hey Jack, how hard do you think I was on the guy from the WRC? Do you reckon that was just like?
I don't think he'll speak to you ever again.
No, do you think that's a problem?
No.
Do you think, was I right though? Was I right? You know, what do you think I was right, or do you think the championship needs to do the WRGB at the end of the year? What's your view on it?
It's difficult, isn't it? I think what they're trying to do is track the competitors they've got at the minute and give the competitors that they actually have something that they want, and I think that's what they're doing with GB. The difficulty with it is obviously when you're looking at towards the back end of the clubman entries, they're going to find it a lot more difficult to do things like Wales Rally GB with the kind of budget that it takes. So it's kind of a change of direction that the BRC's had to go in. Do they go with more events that are going to suit the clubman, which they haven't got at the minute, or do they sort of cater to the entries that they actually have got? So it's a difficult decision they've had to make.
What do you think, Gwyndaf? He's gone now, it's alright, he's here we like.
Give them all free entries, huh?
Oh, then well, that ain't going to happen, is it? Free entry, where's that gone?
I'll tell you what, I have to say, Gwyndaf, you did it the same year. We both did Rally GB as British Championship competitors, as a round of the World Championship, and we were in a service part, I don't know, I think we were...
It was great, but you...
Windows mic isn't working, boys. Where do you get these batteries from? Littles? He's got a different one now, hang on, he's swapped over. Whoa, that's the wrong one. Oh, hang on.
Hello?
That one's okay. But that one isn't working.
Hello?
All right.
This one's working.
I
mean, I share what Jack is saying, basically. Brilliant idea. It was great that we had to do it. So our team entered it as in it, and we got to do it. But we didn't have to pay for it.
And even then, our service part was, halfway to the coast, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not, well, I'm not going to say anymore, I might have upset a few people already, but I don't personally
It's
think...
never worried you in the past.
No. I just think it'll detract, the WRC is a spectacle enough in itself, and I think that the BRC should be big enough, old enough, strong enough to stand on its own. That's my view. But I'm here to be shot down. So, okay. Jeff, what do you think, Jeff? Because you run cars, and you run a few cars. As a guy who runs cars, is it right, is it wrong?
I'm with you, to be honest. I'm a clubman, and I run clubmen. I run people who want to do championships, but the Wales Rally GB is too much on top of the British Championship. And to do both is too much. To do one championship or just the GB is enough for the clubmen. I think they'll be struggling for entries for BRC and the Wales Rally.
Also, it's incredibly damaging on the car, isn't it? When you're running at the back of the field, after the World Rally cars, the mess that they actually make of the road, it is damaging on a car.
The car will have more, it'll wear out more on that one rally than it did with all the rest of the championship.
That's the difficulty, isn't it?
But just changing the subject slightly, Gwyndaf, you had a well-known co-driver with you for a few years.
Best co-driver in the world.
Did you, on road sections, was it a little bit of a one-sided conversation?
Was it that lightweight one?
Yeah, that was the one, yeah. Well, it was lightweight for a while, wasn't it? There is a story in that.
There's a big story. Seat waved a few quid in front of him, and boom, there goes 5 stone.
quite happened that.
And then,
See, let me
the
tell
following year, Seat said, we've had enough of this, we ain't going to pay any more. And Howard said, you know what? I've had enough of this as well, so I'm going to put my £5 5 stone back on.
Oh, I didn't come on in 12 months. It took about 5 years to come back on,
Yeah.
and 5 more. It was hard though. Christ, it was hard, you know.
It wasn't, you did so well.
I know, but it was hard. It wasn't... You... Hands up here who's been on a diet trying to lose weight.
It doesn't work.
Exactly. And they're all lying bastards. There's only one bloke put his hand up, in fairness. It's very difficult. If you're skinny and slight and used to it, right? It's okay. I know what you're like. You don't have the same addiction to food. I'm addicted to food. I like the taste. I like the food. I get excited when I go to a restaurant. I get so excited, right? I don't read the menu. I get so excited to pick something, and then when it comes, I think, oh shit, is that what it is? You know?
Use this.
I know, but I know I'm so clever that I haven't got enough left up here to be able to do that.
Anyway, going back, he was a brilliant co-driver though, and a good crack.
So where did it all start? First rally together?
Yeah, I was stuck to get a co-driver to do.
You were stuck?
I was stuck.
So it wasn't
how
by
else
choice
would you
then?
invite him like I knocked on his door one night, because I put some...
Oh, I got a better story than this. I got a better story than this.
Let him finish his story.
No,
first.
I'm not going to let him finish his story.
Let him finish. Go on.
This
is how it was.
The girl that I married lived in Corris, right? Corris, if you pass through it, there's only 2 things that come from Corris: the road and the river, and the odd woman. Now, her parents had along at a telephone, right? And I went home on Saturday night. Now, Saturday night, her mum and dad went out every Saturday night and came out at 10:35, right? So we used to go home at 10 o'clock, up to the bedroom, have a bit of a... And the one night at 10:05, the phone went. And I said, leave it, leave it. She said, no, we haven't had the phone wrong, just won't answer it. This is true. And it was Gwyndaf. And she said, oh, it's Gwyndaf for you. So I said, hello, and I'm sitting, bollock naked, on the stairs.
Did you know that bit?
Just like this.
I mean, do you think he's kept it from me?
No, I don't think so.
And Gwyndaf says, I need a co-driver for RAC. RAC? That's a big rally. 3 days. Christ, when? What, in the chase car? No, in the rally car. Can you do it? Oh, Christ, I don't know. I've never done a rally outside of Wales. First biggest mistake. He said, I wouldn't have asked you if I didn't think you could do it, would I? Oh, no. And at that moment, the Vanden Pla that the father-in-law squeaked down the drive behind the house. I said, I gotta go, I'll ring you tomorrow. I put the phone down and ran off upstairs. Mother-in-law that they weren't then, and father-in-law came upstairs and said to my wife, oh, where's Howard? Upstairs in the toilet. Oh, right. So I came downstairs, sat down, he said, how long are we in the toilet upstairs then? I rushed off home and I phoned Gwyndaf. Fortunately, he hadn't found anybody else. I don't know if he tried. And the deal was done to go and do RAC
and I stuck
Rally
for 14 years.
1987.
Yeah, 14 years.
14 years.
And he said he hadn't done a rally outside Wales. Well, hold and behold, we went, a couple of years later, we went to do San Remo.
Oh.
And we were landing into Nice, and then we were driving on from Nice. And this is how it all over. We got the hire car, he got his maps out, put him on his lap, and he says, right here, right here, right here, right here, look. I thought he knew where he was going, and then after about 10-15 minutes, I realised we needed to be on that autobahn up there, and we were down here. And it turns out, he never had a map at all, he didn't realise.
I thought Nice was in Italy. I only had Italian maps. It's true. I said to Gwyndaf, I mean, you pull in here, there's a McDonald's. We'll have a McDonald's map.
It's bloody true.
Oh. And then we went back to the hotel, right? And we went out for food. And we had the clue, pizza. I said, have something different to pizza. Tell you what, he said, this looks good. Steak tartare. It's got to be steak and kidney pie in it. Steak tart. Do you know what steak tartare is? Raw mince with an egg on top. Do you remember? Oh my God. Pizzas it was, then, boys.
So really...
But no, I got to tell you a little story. The reason that Gwyndaf stuck with me so long, right, is I actually saved his life.
Many times.
Yes,
No.
but hang on. Was this a swimming pool incident?
In Leeds. In a swimming pool in Leeds. Night before GB Recce, they booked us into a really plush hotel in Leeds. I said to Gwyndaf, tell you what, let's go up early, we can have a little, nice little meal, and have a little swim in the pool. I can't swim, he said. Don't worry, I'll teach you to swim. I'm having lessons anyway. Oh, great, let's go. We went to this swimming pool, it's the biggest swimming pool you've ever seen, it's about as big as this room. So I'm swimming away now, and I'm telling him, go, push on, go on, you'll be fine, you'll be fine. I went down, back. And there's like a wave machine or something, they're just pushing the water this way. Because he's doing well, Gwyndaf, fair play, you're doing well. I looked around now, I said, Kiddle, he's gone. He's left me in the pool, he's gone. So he didn't say to that. So I climbed out and I looked at the water now. I could see a body at the bottom of the pool. So I dived in now, picked him up, pushed him up to the side, and he was... Because the wave machine had pushed you, hadn't it?
He's not lying this time.
The wave machine had pushed him. He was always touching the floor occasionally, touch the floor. Oh, fuck me, I can't reach the floor, And you panic, don't you, when you can't swim? And of course he went into panic and down there he was, like. What I should have done is pushed him up and said, give me more money or I'll let you go!
Oh, as if you wanted encouragement.
So really, I thought, you winning the British Championship was a fantastic achievement, but actually it was doubly so, really, wasn't it, having Howard alongside?
It was a miracle.
The benefits outweighed the negatives in the end. And that's why we stuck together so long, and it worked, didn't it?
Yeah, it did, and we are, we're different people. We are different people.
Yeah, well, look at us for the start.
I actually think, I remember the fastest I've ever seen you move, Howard, and that was when, I think it was the Pirelli rally, you ended up upside down in the RS2000. You told him it was on fire.
One of my rare
I've never seen
rolls,
him move so fast. Howard, it's on fire.
No. There's a guy from Carlisle called Keith Richardson, he's a marshal.
Yes.
He's on like that. He said, Howard, behind on higher. And he said to me in Wales, what did he say? He said, it's on fire! But, upside down, undid the belts, roof hit the floor. He was out like a little snail. Because I was trying to get out this side, I couldn't get through the gap. Oh, Jesus. Helmet still connected, twang.
But that was a pretty epic period, though, the Formula 2 days in the British Championship. I mean, you won the British Championship really at its height, and then...
We should have won it 3 times.
Defended it in the maxi, but just went through that little compression in the maxi, and she swapped ends.
Yeah, she was a bit lively, bless her. Wasn't she lively?
There's a great story to that. I had a picture come through the...
Can you believe there's a story to that?
Yeah, there's a story to that. They worked on that car, and they just could not get it to handle right. Second day of the Manx, longest day, 2 long stages, and we whipped Robbie Head's ass. And the French guy they'd sent over to beat us. And that's the first proper time we'd beaten the Renaults fair and square. We pulled into St John's, and we were the cocks of the north. Remember, we got these fucking Renaults on the back foot now. We can have them. We can have them. It's taken all year, but we got them, like. And we went into the next stage. And that's where it happened, wasn't it?
I lost her.
Yeah. And it just went light at the back, like that. And then it bounced and bounced. I think it spun. And he went round like a top, bush, straight into a lamppost. Not a lamppost, a passing place post. And I said to Gwyndaf, go on, Mush, fire it up. She's all right, she's all here. So he fired it up, remember? Your helmet had come down a little bit, you couldn't quite see. He stuck it in first gear, and he hit the post more. And I said, where you going? I've got to go. I said, the fucking post there. Oh, yes.
But you're bloody brilliant at putting a bit onto every story.
Never let the truth spoil a good story. That's true. Actually, they were incredible times. They were good times. That, when you look at the BRC, there was 5 manufacturers. Going into that rally, there were 5 people capable of winning the championship.
When Alistair only got a mile further, didn't he? Alistair crashed literally a mile further up the road on Starbucks.
Yes. Robbie Head buzzed it.
Yeah.
Mark Higgins won the...
Won the
Martin
championship.
Rowe won the rally,
Yeah.
Mark Higgins won the championship.
After taking a wheel off,
Yes.
trying to beat
Yeah.
Martin Rowe.
Great.
Speaking of kit car days, the man who was in the smallest kit car
He was
in the
there,
world.
we were there, probably, weren't you?
Was Jeff Jones. Jeff, you've been reunited with the Micra recently, but the little Micra was a fantastic little kit car.
Yeah, it was fantastic in its day, and I jumped in it last year in Goodwood, and this year in Goodwood, and Shelsley Walsh, you were there. What a great fun car that was. I really, really, really enjoyed it. And jumping back into it was like fitting an old club. It was great fun.
Now, you've driven a lot of cars over the years, and like you said, you look after various cars as well. What's your best memory? Where's your greatest memory in your rallying career?
Best memory? I got to include Howard in this one, unfortunately. Best memory is winning my first ever rally. And that was with Howard, Llandeckler, in the snow and ice. Remember?
Yes.
Very fortunate that Hugh Lewis Tyres gave us these tyres that just come into the scene, called Colway tyres, Colway remolds at that. I said, oh, we'll give them a go, they're free, you know. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Anyway, we went to the rally, and there was some good drivers. Remember? John Bond,
Yes.
you went Bond?
Yes.
Who else was there? You know. Anyway, we were leading straight away, weren't we? Anyway, the good thing about it was the first rally we ever won, you know, and that was my best memory ever. Obviously, I got good memories after that, but that was the one that I can remember.
We went on then to do the Cambrian of that year. And
Careful now.
no, I do admit, hands up, I made a mistake. I almost got away with it. And we would have won the Cambrian, but for two problems. The first major problem was I forgot to hand a time card in Cloud Newydd.
Bloody hell, you did that with me as well.
Yeah, I know. I was very effective. I would like my time cards, so I sent it back with somebody.
Don't you learn them?
And you know John Ingram that was here with his lad, Chris? Nice guy, but hated him ever since. He reported us, and we got excluded, right? But we would have won that rally, and there was another reason, that was the reason we didn't win, we didn't finish, we'd have finished second. But we wouldn't have won because we came through one stage, we were running car 30, and Mike Sora, do you know Mike Sora with an Anglia? He was across the road in Clochainog, and we come down this hill, up the bank, round over the crest, and he was in the middle of the road. We took to the bank to go round him, we missed him, but a log went between the body of the car and the brake pipe and jammed the back brakes on. Jeff handed me a spanner, undo that lever on the brakes, he said, that'll release the pressure, and we carried on through the stage without any back brakes. We were still second fastest on that stage, but it meant we were second overall in the rally. John Bont won the rally, and we were second, but when we got to the finish, we were excluded. But to add insult to injury, Dick Beck, our service crew, blew the back doors off our service van by changing a gas cylinder inside. And we heard in service, there's been a hell of an explosion in service. The back doors have been blown off a Bedford CF van. And he looked at me, oh, Dick Beck. Oh, God. That just came back to me like that, flash.
Forgot about that.
You didn't read that right.
No, I can't. I'm not even going to try. Gwyndaf, I mean, coming back to your career, I mean, obviously we'll talk about Elvin in a minute, and what he's done this year has been incredible. You know, he's really had a fantastic year. But you know, how do you look back at your opportunities? You had good opportunities at the British Championship, but you never quite got the proper WRC opportunity. There was sort of one or two single events, really.
I've got no complaints, really. How can I? I mean, at the end of the day, I got paid for doing something I loved doing for 14, 15 years. Not many people can say that. I think my problem came when I joined Ford at Boreham, and I became quite handy for testing, too bloody handy. And I think probably I should have been crap at testing, then maybe I would have got more rallies. So they used me more for testing, and you know, then I still say it, and I don't know whether I should, but they seem to like the Scandinavians a lot more than the British drivers then.
And was the money involved at that point, do you think, as well? I mean, now, obviously, today, when we hear about the latest things coming in, there's normally money changing hands. Would that have been the case then?
I don't know, but I mean, certainly there was money in the teams.
I mean,
when you go back and look, you know, now, don't get me wrong, I got looked after well, but I mean, you know, the drivers, the teams were getting paid very, very well. And I think probably proportionally they were getting paid a lot more than a lot better than they are today.
Decisions were difficult, and you look back many years later and you hear about the way decisions were made. I know I heard later that we did some rallies in Group N in the Sierra Cosworth in 1990, and the plan was for 91 for us to do a full WRC programme. But then Delacour came and set the place on fire towards the back part of the year, and the budget they had for us went to sign Delacour. And then, of course, he went and led Monte Carlo the next year, so they needed to find money to do more rallies for him. And that was our budget gone. You hear this later on. This is 10 years on, like.
There is a lot of luck in the sport, and, you know, what Howard is saying is 100% right. All the plan was for me to do the whole World Championship in Group N, 1991.
it would have been.
I'd done Finland and San Remo and the RSE rally, and my claim to fame, for me anyway, the biggest personal satisfaction I think I had all my career really was, and probably people don't know this, is that I rolled very early on in Finland. I'd already trashed the car 3 times in Recce, hadn't I? Before the rally started, I think. I remember Peter Ashcroft coming before the rally, and there were 2 scrapped cars in the corner. He says, "What have you been doing?" Because I crashed the hire car, I crashed the Recce car, and I ended up rolling the rally car. But they got it back going. And the bit I wanted to come and say is that I was against another Finn, and he was pretty quick, and he was called Tommy Mackinnon in a Mitsubishi Group N. And when I came back, we did 14 fastest Group N stage times against Tommy Mackinnon. We then went to San Remo, and we beat the pants of him, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we beat him on the RSE rally. He became 5 times world champion. I became a test driver because, like Howard said, the story came on. So who knows?
You know, like you said, a lot of it's opportunity, and I think we all realise that, particularly today. I mean, we know that it's a very expensive sport and a very expensive sport to move up through, but I guess it was probably quite a contrast for you, having had years at Ford where there was never enough money, to move to SEAT where money wasn't really a big issue at the time.
No, but they didn't seem to know how to spend it.
I spent it on girls.
They spent it all right. So there's no question of actually spending it, but you know, it was quite frustrating at times. With all that budget, I think they could have done more.
We went to Finland.
We had a good time, don't we?
We went to Finland to test for SEAT with 4 engines, right? By the end of the second day, we didn't have an engine. So we were there for a week. Do you remember? And then basically what was happening was that they were machining the head so much, the cam followers, where the cams were on the head, were breaking off the top of the head. You know, it wasn't something you could fix, weld, or repair. You had to have another head, you had to have an engine rebuilt. And this is another interesting story, that the engines were built by a certain engine builder in France, right? And there was another engine builder who was fantastic. We went and used his engines, right? But that first engine builder, I can't go deep into it, was a big friend of somebody within SEAT, and he put the stop on the other engine builder. I think there was a little bit of shagging going on as well. But you know, this I found out 5-6 years later, you know. At the time, we couldn't use that engine builder, which was a fantastic engine. When we won in Ulster, we whipped the pants off everybody with this different engine. But as soon as we won with that engine, the support stopped. And you don't find out these things at the time. It's later on that these things develop, right? So there's a lot of politics and a lot of shit goes on in the background, and you've got to be... It's a bit like this Chris Meek scenario, you know. He's just had to put his head down and drive the car. And that's what, you know, we had to do, put up with it, didn't we?
Yeah, and I think, like you say, I think what's actually seen in front of the camera and what's behind is very different. I mean, we were just talking about Elvin earlier on, the level of testing, or lack of testing Elvin's had. I mean, everybody sees him in a 2017 car with a fabulous opportunity in the World Championship, but effectively he's doing it with one hand tied behind his back. In the nicest possible way.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, he has had testing, to be fair, but he hasn't had many tyres to test, shall we put the record straight. So he has a day's testing before most events this year. So, and at the end of the day, you know, he's very, very grateful of the opportunity he's had at the end of the day. I mean, I don't think until a few more years, maybe, and look back, you'll realise how lucky he is. But, you know, like everything in life, you have to create your own luck, and in a way he's done that in the last 8-10 years. We kicked off with a little Micra, much cheaper than Jeff's, and the goal every time Elvin had a car was, unless you can really win that car, you don't get the next one up. And I think that's a very good lesson for most people who are really serious about the sport in progressing without blowing budgets. Because if you go to the, for example, R5 straight away, you won't take long blowing big budgets. Whereas, you know, the R2 category, I think, you know, well, certainly served Elvin well, and has served quite a lot of other people well. I think you can still show your mettle in them.
Yeah. And to be fair to M Sport, they've got a good ladder of progression, haven't they? If you can show, you know, early on in the Fiestas, if you can show in the R2, and then, you know, in the academy.
And Citroen had it as well.
Yeah, I mean, and it's important that
so I think
they go through these.
That is what, you know, I think that's the healthiest thing that rally.
Yeah, learning to drive the wheels off something and then moving on.
Yeah. I know there's very few opportunities even there, but there is a light of chance for the odd one or two there.
Now, I mean, we've seen, we talked to Malcolm about it earlier, I mean, Elvin's had the best as a teammate this year. And I think from the outside, you know, he's certainly developed as a driver. What's he said about, you know, about Sebastian and working alongside Sebastian? Has that been important to him this year, or is it just a natural progression from Elvin himself?
I mean, Elvin's a little bit deep down, you know, he'll talk to me quite a bit and ask me a few things, but he'll never own up to it. And I think he's a little bit like that with Seb as well. But he's never ever said a single bad word. You know, he's always said, no, he's fine, he's good, he's cool, no problem. And I think they get on, you know, they respect each other. But obviously, you know, a lot more respect from Elvin to Seth than the other way around. But
he's probably come into the team and stamped his feet a little bit, you know, and issues that Elvin and Oid had, you know, Sebastian Ogier being able to push them forward and to get things done.
That's
so
helped, because obviously Elvin hasn't had to ask for nothing this year, because it's all been done by Seb. So inevitably Elvin has gained on the back of that. And obviously to see how the four-time world champion works and operates, because let's face it, they go to every debrief, they hear all the debriefs and everything together, and they all contribute towards it, and they're all striving for the same thing. You know, he's gained unmeasurable amounts from it.
What is the result of the test that Elvin had with the tyre package for this rally? What can we expect from Elvin? Is it positive? Is he going into the rally positive? Do we need certain weather conditions? Because, you know, the people last week possibly said, you know, Evans for the win if the conditions are the same as last year. Tanak would have won if there was 2 more stages last year on D-Max. So how was the test? Last time I spoke to you, he hadn't done the test.
I think
Are we smiling?
There's optimism there, for sure. I think the conditions have to play its side, because at the end of the day, running around Greystock isn't quite the same as running around Davies and Avren and all the mud we've got in Wales, you know, and he hasn't turned a wheel in Wales on them tyres yet, so there's certainly an unknown factor there. But if you speak to him tonight, I think he'll say he's optimistic. But, you know, there's a window there where the tyres work well. So if he gets that window during the weekend, who knows? I mean, he had that window in Argentina, there's no question about it. And he certainly had, the window came to him after the first day in Finland. I mean, you could see his pace was average for the first half day in Finland. And as it was starting to dry out, the tyres then, they're not the same as what he's got for this rally. You could see that the tyre were coming into the window, and he capitalised. I mean, I think he did very well once they came to that window. But there's been events, obviously, this year where he's
the window's closed.
The window's been closed, and he's known that from shakedown, basically.
Tell me, what are your feelings for the rally itself? I mean, we talked about the rally last week, and you looked at day 2 and the difficulties. Are you still of the belief that the rally's going to be won and lost in day 2?
Well, you never know that with this rally. I mean, it's always got the unknown hits you, doesn't it? But for sure, the meat of the rally is Saturday, and that 110 Ks of not seeing any outside assistance. Is what you've got in the car. Is you can't afford a single trouble, or you've had it. So it has to be that 110 kilometres on Saturday.
Lassie Lampy sat there and said, didn't he, on the side of safety, it's not right. But obviously the rules and the regulations fit in with the...
I disagree with that. I think, you cut your cloth accordingly.
Yeah, which is exactly what Alan Manass said about the every rally is different. What do you think, Jack? What are your feelings? I mean, you must hear the whining and the groaning of the drivers, and they talk about their tyre package. It's the same for everybody. But what do you think it really is? Is it the cleverest guy who looks after his tyres is at benefit, or?
It's an interesting one, isn't it? I mean, Alan's a really good person to speak to because he's a team manager of a WRC team, but he also has been a clerk of the course for many years on EPRA, so he understands both sides of the situation, what it's like to be a team manager, but also what it's like to organise a rally. And when he uses the word compromise, it's in the purest sense of the word. There is always compromise between who's sponsoring the event and things like that. There's always things to work out, and I think Saturday's a good compromise for me. I don't, like Gwyndaf said, I don't agree there's any safety issue there. What we all want to see is the drivers being pushed in some way, shape or form. We can't have the 5-day RAC that we want anymore, and that's not possible. But what we can do is implement things like what's going on Saturday, where the drivers have to look after their tyres. That's the kind of thing that's going to make the rally interesting, and working within that compromise to create some sort of spectacle for the fans. So it's going to be interesting to see who looks after their tyres best over the weekend, for sure.
Yeah, I think that's an important point as well, isn't it? Because a couple of years ago, we all wanted to see a bit more character in the sport, didn't we? There was days, they're all office hours now, more or less, and we wanted to see a bit of character, so there's a bit of character put back in a tough day, and then it doesn't suit everybody, but I think it's important to see character, isn't it, in a rally?
Definitely. And talking of character, there was a lot of characters in Italy this weekend, Jeff, on this rally, was it San Marino Legends, and you've been out there looking after some cars?
Yeah, so what a fantastic rally. It is Rally of the Legends. Everybody there that you can name in motorsport, in rallying, was there. I was looking after Alistair McRae doing course car in Collins Hall. Swedish car, 1994 Swedish car.
Subaru Legacy?
Subaru Legacy.
And who owns that car at the moment?
It's Ian Gwynn at BGM Sport.
Ah, right, yeah. And how did Alistair get on in it?
Yeah, just had a great fun time. He was obviously doing course car, so he had a few extra donuts and a few extra skids.
But a great rally. Italian crowds going mad. Italian fans enjoying themselves.
Yeah, like Chris says, they are absolutely nuts out there. They're worse than you Irish over there. They're worse than.
Now, I also saw some pictures of you now recently doing something with the TR-78 in... Where have you ever been?
Bulgaria. Yeah, we look after a car over there. Again, with BGM Sport. He wanted me, because of my African experience, he wanted to go out and help run that. And they had a good rally. That was a good rally too. That was good fun.
So does that mean you've been roped into the East African Safari Rally next month to look after the 2 TR-78s?
Not yet.
But it's coming.
You're waiting for the call, are you?
Who knows? But I'm open. I love going to Africa. It's a fantastic place to go. Great fun. And them cars they're a very, very strong cars.
It's a little bit like the old days, isn't it? Hammer it, smack it with a hammer and try and fix it with a bit of welding wire and get on with it. Like
big hammer.
Big hammer. And that's sort of pure fun and motorsport, isn't it?
Exactly. It's proper desert engineering. You remember when we used to do our club rally? Had a big hammer in the boot, didn't we?
Oh, good old days, good old days. Right, and we're going to run out of time shortly. Jack, who's going to win the rally?
Sebastian.
Who's going to win the championship?
Sebastian.
Favourite stage?
My favourite stage?
Yes.
Stage? I like Havrin.
Havrin. Jeff, who's going to win the rally?
It's got to be Ogier, because he's going to be gunning for it.
And the championship, is he going to win the championship?
If he wins the rally, he'll win the championship.
If he wins the rally, yeah. Ryan?
I I think Ogier, we'll see. Ogier's very clever, isn't he? He plays the game, and I just think he might just do enough this weekend and not risk his neck. Neville's going to lay it all on the line, which didn't end very well in Spain, did it?
No.
So whether that'll happen or not, I think Latvala might be in with the outside
I
chance.
was going to say Latvala. I watched him testing the other day. His body language is good, like. Gwyndaf?
Tanak.
Ooh! Tanak, yes. I'd love to see Elvin.
Doesn't care, does he?
No.
No, he's off. He's off. There you go. It's down that hillside somewhere, Malcolm. Thank you for all them 10 years that you've paid for my cars. It was very good of you. Sorry about the damage.
Yeah.
Tommy, helicopter, please.
If you saw how fast Tanak was in Poland, where it was very muddy and slippery, yes, okay, he went a little bit too much in the end, but my God, he can go in them slippery conditions. So, and he's second on the road, remember, because Seb has had two days been first in the road every year, and it's a massive difference. You've only got to watch the rally. When the first car's gone through and the second car's gone through, it's a different rally.
It was a very interesting analogy that Chris Meek said. The Wales stages are like soup.
Yeah.
And when you let soup dry, there's a nice crust on top, and then the crust goes lower, and then after that, until the soup's gone, there's no grip.
Unbelievable the difference
Very
after
true.
every car.
Very true.
But of course, there's only one day that Seb will have that advantage, and remember, Tanak is just behind him, so I'll go with Tanak.
And even this year, if it stays dry like it is, there could be a little bit of road cleaning, possibly, if it gets as dry as it might
It's
be.
not going to be dry enough, is it? It's not going to be dry enough. It rained all day yesterday. It's been a nice day today. But I'm just going to ask anybody if they've got any questions from the floor. This stage, we've got about a minute left before we get thrown out. So any questions from the floor at all? If not, I'm going to close the evening and ask Brynmore to come and say prayers.
He's doing his suspension testing over there, by the way.
Go on, somebody said something. Where was it? Proper tyres, he wants. Proper tyres.
Well, I think at least if he had consistent, if he was on the same tyres, he'd know exactly where he was, wouldn't he?
Yeah, it's difficult to measure at the end of the day. The only thing we have to measure is his performance on tarmac when he was on the same tyres a couple of years ago. For example, Tour de Course. He was super duper quick. He was the only one that could get close to the Volkswagens, if you remember, in Tour de Course. And what he did in Finland, I think on the last day especially, showed a different side to him this year, being able to do it on gravel. I still think he's a bit, he's not there yet, but if he keeps progressing.
And if he next year, if he gets the Michelins and the confidence comes, it grows, doesn't it? It grows.
Look what's happened to Tanak, basically.
Yeah,
that's.
Yeah.
But I'm optimistic this weekend that he'll be hopefully on one or two of the steps anyway.
Whoa! You heard it here now first. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Brynmore, come and say a few words. Close the evening off. You've been a wonderful audience.
We didn't tip Brynmore, did we? In the
no, for the national. 257.
No hope, I'm afraid. No hope. Big money lost there. No, just a big thank you to all the guests tonight. Excuse me. Thank you to Graham Construction for supporting it, and the team from Broughton and Bretton again. It's wonderful that such a small club can put on an event like this. Good luck to all the members on the event as well. There's quite a number of us competing, which is great to see. Big thanks, of course, to Howard and our new presenter, Ryan, tonight. Round of applause for those. And if you're out and about on the event, have a safe and enjoyable time and a safe journey home tonight. See you next year, hopefully. Cheers.